So hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and this video is actually a premiere, so welcome to the premiere. Today I'll be doing the final European Season 2 multiplayer season overall roundup of what I basically have done, and this little short 1-minute clip is to show the stats of every single car that you can use in this game. But I did not really play much in the Zenvo, the Victor which I tested last season, and I didn't really play much in the Valkyrie for some reason. But despite that, I have one race of the Valkyrie saved all the way at the back, so be sure to watch till the end of the video. So in this video we have 11 races. I believe it's 3 for the DBS, 3 for the Porsche 918, 2 for the F1LM, 2 for the Senna, and 1 for the Valkyrie. So we just have to wait for this part to finish playing first, because it's quite long. As you can see, I'm flipping through the stats of every single one of the cars. I must say that the season has been pretty rough, because you'll see why later. Screen lag, races with a lot of knockdowns. I actually got a lot of knockdowns, like streaks of them in races, and then screen lag, and then you have some kind of stupid mistakes to take because because you have a bad mood and stuff. So after showing the stats of the Valkyrie, let's jump right into our first race with the Aston Martin DBS Super Legra, which I never made a video about. So we are on Pearl of the Orient on Shanghai. We have 2 DBS, including myself, 2 McLaren Sennas, 2 Zenvos, 1 Aston Martin Valkyrie, and 1 918 Spider, with the Spider not really working out for me in this season at all, really, along with this car. So the DBS Super Leggera, I believe I already researched on the meaning of this car. Go check out my live commentary video for European Season 2. So the meaning of Super Leggera is an Italian word, and it's basically a prefix for the names of cars, and it simply means super light. So I wanted to see how this car really fits into its name in Asphalt 9. Its acceleration, I feel, is actually not good at all. Actually, I do a wrong drift, a wrong floaty drift. It's supposed to turn 360 at the opposite direction of the drift. Here I do correctly, but too late. So like all Aston Martin cars except for the track-oriented cars like the Valkyrie and stuff, technically these cars usually have pretty slow acceleration, and the handling of this car, I find that it's way too stiff for my liking. So in this race it comes in second place, behind a Senna, but beating the rest of our competition, which included a Valkyrie. So as I was saying, I didn't really like the stiff steering of this car and this car's. Drifting is also a bit stiff. It's not wide enough in my opinion. So I don't really like this car, mainly because of its handling. But I do know this car is good. It's just that I'm not really accustomed to driving this kind of cars. And on our second race here, we are on the Caribbean Air Pressure, which is actually one of my favorite Caribbean variants, but I don't really know it. The reason why I like it so much is because like you have the long twisty sections in the forest, and this is the ultimate Caribbean experience. And as I was going through the clips, cutting some out, putting some in and all of that, and then also checking out this and that, I do realize that there's one clip where I suspect that there's actually a hacker in the race. That's just a suspicion. So I didn't really check the replay thingy footage, because I didn't realize it until I started to work on the video itself. So the European Season 2, it will end in a day, and I believe that it is around the evening time tomorrow at on 29th of July 2021 GMT+8. And the most epic thing there happened, a Valkyrie knocked me down last minute, but I respawned at the spot where I died, and somehow still got a 5th place and ahead of 3 McLaren F1LMs. And on to our next race, With the Aston Martin DBS, we are on Whirlwind Curve in the US Midwest, where we have 2 Sennas, 1 Victor, 1 Valkyrie, 2 Zenvos, 1 DBS, which is myself, and 4 Valkyries. Quite a variety, right? So, there's supposed to be a fence trick here. I didn't really do it because speed tricks for me have failed pretty miserably, including the one on mountain posts. If you go to the right side, then take 1 rank. And then the second rank you take, there's this little section there. If you fence right correctly, then yeah, you see that knockdown was the reason why it was so hard to get out of Pro League and into Elite League for me. My goal is to reach Elite League, but because of that, my not alien driving at all and spec races and a bad move just didn't get me to Elite League. So as I was saying. Wait, what was I saying? Never mind. I'll just say again when I get back. So basically the DBS is alright, but I don't think it's a very good car at all because of its stiff steering. I do prefer cars with here respawn. I do prefer cars with higher top speed, but the main things I'm looking out for most of the time is handling, and mostly handling, because some of the cars in Asphalt 9 don't really suit my taste, so like this one. So back there we came in 6th place, and on to our 4th race with the Porsche 918 Spider on New York Subway Surfing. We have 4 Valkyries in this race, 2 F1 LM, 1 Victor, and 1 918 Spider, which is me. So 918 didn't really work well for me in this season. Not really sure why, but it just couldn't really defeat the rest of the cars that are featured in here. I screen recorded most of my races with the 918, and sometimes I did without screen recording, and the results were still pretty bad. So I just deduced that the 918 wasn't that good for the season at least, but I know it's a really good car. 918 Spider the name sounds nice, and it's a pretty fun car to drive overall, but it's just that it doesn't really do well in this kind of seasons, because basically it just doesn't have the characteristics that it should have. It doesn't really match up to other cars and all that. And you might realize that I'm missing some Apollo Intensa clips in here. I deleted them too early, so if you want to go check out how the Apollo performs in the season, do check out the Apollo Intensa Emozione video that I made a while back. So do check it out if you want to see how the Apollo performs. And in this race, we come in 5th place with a few Valkyries and 1 F1 LM ahead of us. And on to our next race with the 918, we are on Canyon Launch, US Midwest, with 3 Sennas in this race, 1 Valkyrie, 1 DBS, 1 Zenvo, and 1 McLaren F1 LM, and I believe 119 Spider. I forgot to write my script, but yeah, you do get a competition here. And I really hate this section, wherever it is. I really hate it because like people just try to push you off sometimes. I do find the main reason why I couldn't get to Elite League was because people were being too toxic in the multiplayer seasons. That's my main reason, and also some kind of shockwave knockdowns that I almost had there, but I had nitro, so I got protected. But so the main issues with me not reaching Elite League is unfair knockdowns, and my skill isn't that great after all. So nothing really much talking about Asphalt 9 now. It's great, it's alright. Didn't really have any stupid stuff going on. It's alright. I'm doing good, and I might make one video as soon as the Ghost Slipstream season is over. I will make one video about the what cars, the elites. I'll try to upgrade the cars as much as I can. I don't know why I did in first row and floated there and over to this center last minute. I think I got 5th place. a sixth place. I don't know why I overtook him. Yes, I did, but I don't know what happened back there. And on to our next race with the 918, which is the last race with the 918 actually. We have two 918s, including myself, two F1LM, one Victor, one Zenvo, one Apollo, Intensa, Emozione, and one McLaren Senna. So speaking of tracks that are difficult and annoying. Oh yes, this was the race I wanted to point out, right? The Victor, which has shockwave at the beginning. As I replayed this clip many times, I saw that he had continuous shockwave for pretty much quite the entire race. Like majority of the race he had it, and sometimes I really hate this track because when I try to go to the left, like go through the double shipwreck, right, I always get pushed when I jump from one shipwreck to another. So I do kind of hate that, but just pointing out the Victor, the shockwave and all of that. Not really sure that was a hacker, but most probably he was, in my opinion, and I don't really want to judge, so just saying it's a suspicious and all of that, because no one has seen shockwave like for the entire race and he looked like he used hacks or something. But if you want to see more cool hacks, I can link a video down in the description below. I recently found this video that Aris Cheese God made about hackers. He found in Asphalt 9. The last one he put in there was pretty epic, so do check it out. And there I did a very weird stunt of that ramp. And this race he got 5th place. Told you this car wasn't that good. Actually freeze it anyway, it's not a phone lag. Just in case why you were wondering the result screen was lagging. And on to our next race, the 7th race, we have the McLaren F1LM on Scotland Wildlands. We have 2 Valkyries, 4 F1LMs including myself, 1 Zenvo and 1 Senna. And some of you should have remembered this race because this is the race, one of the races I put in my F1LM video where I crashed at this very initial section. And I also did mention around this point of time in the video that the F1LM is a king, not a new king. Pardon that mistake in the previous video. The F1LM is a king of Class B, but not really in Classic season, but most prominently in the Gold Slipstream season because of its extremely high Class A standard top speed. Even the Max Aventador SVJ Roadster can't really beat it. If you want to check out my video about the SVJ Roadster, like it was featured in my Keyway season update briefing or something, you can go check it out. I'll try to link it, or maybe there's a card on the top right hand corner. Just look for it, not really sure what I'll do. So the European season will come to an end tomorrow evening, 29th July 2021, and the heat wave season will most probably start on the 29th of July 2021 at around 8 o'clock GMT plus 8. And even though we had a little wreck at the beginning, we still managed to get 4th place with the F1LM, which shows how much better the F1LM is compared to the something like a 918. And we had 2 Valkyries in front of us, as well as 1 more F1LM in front of us as well. And on to an 8th race, yes, this video is a bit long. We have the McLaren F1LM on Putong Rise. We are facing 3 Sennas, 2 Zenvos, 1 F1LM, which is myself, and 1 918 and 1 Valkyrie. And as I mentioned so many times already, it's always a good idea to go on this rough terrain when they go the one big round and then drift and then lose even more speed. And yeah, that's my advice for the starting portion of Putong Rise. Basically, I really like this season, but it was really rough. I stayed in Pro League fortunately to the very end of the season, but I think this season was very rough. I faced quite a lot of toxic people and probably some unintentional shockwave knockdown, and then there are times when my screen lagged way too much and I had to put low graphics, as you could see from some of my races. And basically, like, I had a bit of trouble getting clips and no one had any more Valkyrie clips, so I had to take my own. So there's only one entire video that basically explains why there's no dedicated Valkyrie clip and why there's only one Valkyrie race in this entire video. So if you want an explanation for that, there you go. Some races are put in here because of a perfect lap, others had something to explain, and others were just mildly interesting. And some of these races were featured in my individual videos about respective cars, so if you see repeat races, don't be surprised. But however, this video does not feature the race that McLaren P1 Bacon has given me in the McLaren Senna, because I already had enough clips to make a big clip. I didn't have enough to make the smaller clips, the individual one about the car. So I asked my IG story for that, and P1 Bacon gave me the clips accordingly. And on our first McLaren Senna race, our 9th race in this video, we have the McLaren Senna on ancient Rome. We have 5 Sennas including myself, 1 Victor, 1 DBS, and 1 McLaren F1LM. And after this voiceover, right, we're 16 minutes in already. After this voiceover, I'm gonna be recording the European Season 2 recap, since the European Season 2 has more or less already ended, so I don't have to wait until the very end to do the recap, since it's already only 1 day left, so whatever. Yeah, do expect both clips sometime anywhere soon. And for Asphalt 8, the Bugatti Cento Diachi, right, I already prepared the acceleration test for it. Do note that when my Bugatti Cento Diachi individual stats test come out, the car will already be tuned Pro Kits 1111, so its new acceleration will be around 2.38 seconds or something. Raw top speed will be 383. Handling, I don't really have to say a lot because no one cares about the handling status. It's just whether it feels good or not. And the nitro boost will be around something like 11 to 13 kilometers per hour. Not really sure. I'll let you know in that video itself. So just telling you that the Cento Diachi's individual stat focus video will be with tuned Cento Diachi 1111, as I do not have any quite a lot of legendary tires, suspension, exhaust, and drivetrain, and even the multiplayer store is pretty hard to get as well. So the Bugatti is actually harder to upgrade than something like the old festival cars like the Devo, the Bailey Blade, which is one of my most powerful cars that I own. And still having trouble with the Bugatti 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse in multiplayer because I haven't really tuned it yet. And speaking of Bugatti 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse, right, it's been added to Asphalt 9, the new update, if you didn't know already. And I'm planning to get it from a special event if I can. Just saying that. And going back to the Veyron in Asphalt 8 again, I'm having trouble with the acceleration. I don't think it's good unless you max pro the acceleration, I think. And personally speaking, it's very expensive, but I do prefer the McLaren 570S. And before I forget, my garage review for the Asphalt 9's 3rd anniversary will be out pretty soon. I only played Asphalt 9 for about half a year, actually 5 months to be exact. But I have reached garage level 11 out of 18 and own 32 cars. In my video, I'll say 31 because I only unlocked the Porsche 718 Cayman today. Yes, I bought it from the store. I don't know why I decided to get the Cayman. No idea why I decided to do that, but I did. So I have 32 cars now, but 31 as of the Asphalt 9 anniversary, 3rd anniversary, which was on 26th of July, because that was when it was released. And Asphalt 8's anniversary is around the same time, so you have the anniversary festival as well. And on to our last race with the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Before that, I'd like to mention the previous McLaren Senna race on peer pressure. We have 4 Sennas, including myself, 1 Zenvo, 1 F1LM, and 1 Valkyrie. And naming the competition in this Aston Martin Valkyrie race, we have 2 Valkyries, including myself, 2 Sennas, 1 Zenvo, 1 F1LM, 1 Apollo IE, and 1 918 Spider. And as you could see, this is not the best race that I had. I had trouble, not really trouble, but I actually randomly picked out the races because I didn't really have anything else to do. Like I didn't have a wide selection of races that I could pick, which were like really good or something. Yeah, so there's a lot of things to link in the description, so I'll try to remember all of them. And if I don't, try just remind me in the comment section below. I'll add them as soon as I can. And we finished this race in 3rd place. And thank you all so much for watching. Do leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Asphalt 8, 9 Natural 2 content. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.